Hi, Sachiaki Takamiya here. Today, I'm going to talk about natural farming method versus natural farming because one of my viewers requested to talk about natural farming more. He actually practices Kawaguchi style natural farming in France, and he doesn't get much information about it in English, and he asked me to make more videos on it or write blogs about it. So I'm going to do a little on that. But first of all, let me introduce myself. And again, I'm going to show you the picture of my book again to introduce myself. So I am the author of Ikigai Diet, which is a Kindle book. It is a book on healthy diet. It is the secret of Japanese diet to health and longevity. And in the book, I did talk about natural farming because in Ikigai Diet, it is quite crucial to use good ingredients. So I recommend you that you use organically grown ingredients and naturally grown ingredients, which means vegetables and rice are grown by a method called natural farming. Therefore, I'm going to talk about natural farming today. Right. Now, some of you have heard about Masanobu Fukuoka. Yeah, in fact, when you say natural farming, most people think of Fukuoka method. Yeah, his method is probably the most well-known abroad. And basically his method is natural farming. Yeah. However, there are several different approaches in natural farming in Japan. So there's natural farming method, but also there's natural farming and some other method. Yeah. So Fukuoka method is called Shizen Noho in Japanese, which means natural farming method. And another method called Shizen-no, which was developed by a man called Yoshikazu Kawaguchi. And Shizen-no means natural farming. Yes. So those two are probably the most well-known method and most popular method in Japan. So I'm going to talk about those two today. So you know about Masanobu Fukuoka, right? He is the author of the One-Straw Revolution. This is a brilliant book, actually. I read this book about 10 years ago, and after reading this book, I became interested in natural farming, and I moved to the countryside, and I started growing vegetables and so on. So this book is the reason why I live in the countryside now. Yes. And there are several other books written by him translated into English, and there are some documentary films made about him. So you can find out about Masanobu Fukuoka and his method quite easily in English. However, it may be difficult to obtain information on natural farming and Yoshikazu Kawaguchi. There is one documentary film made called Final Straw. You can watch that in English. But other than that, I don't think any of the books written by Yoshikazu Kawaguchi are translated into English. And there are only a few blogs written about his approach too. But in Japan, Kawaguchi style is more widely practiced because there are many courses teaching it. Yes. Unfortunately, there isn't any course teaching Fukuoka style natural farming. Therefore, not many people know how to do it in Japan. Kawaguchi-style natural farming is taught in many prefectures in Japan, and I attended one of the courses in Saitama. I attended a place called Marugasaki Shizen-no no Kai, and the course was given by student of Mr. Kawaguchi. And Kawaguchi himself teaches at a place called Akame Shizen-no Juku too. Okay, so what are the differences between natural farming method and natural farming? Now, natural farming method is the Fukuoka style natural farming. There are 4 principles in it. You don't till the land, you don't use fertilizers, you don't weed, you don't use agricultural chemicals. Right? And in Kawaguchi style natural farming, you don't till the land, you don't use fertilizers. So those 2 are the same, but the next one is a little different. You don't fight against weeds and insects. What does it mean? It means you don't do much weeding. I mean, compared to organic farming, you do very little weeding in Kawaguchi style natural farming too. However, you do a certain amount of weeding if it is necessary. For example, if the weed is blocking the sunlight from vegetables, then you cut the weed. Or if the weed is blocking the vegetable to receive some air, then you cut the weeds. Therefore, there is more human intervention in Kawaguchi method. Well, mind you, in Fukuoka method too, I mean, they do some weeding. I mean, I spoke to some people who practice Fukuoka style natural farming, and they told me that depending on the situation, I mean, of course, if it is necessary that they do a certain amount of weeding, but the impression I got was that in Fukuoka style, they let the nature take care of everything as much as possible. So they try to minimize human intervention. They do some weeding if it's necessary, but first they think of ways to create an environment where you don't need to do any weeding. Such as using certain type of plants to, if you grow certain type of plants, then other weeds, they kind of stop the spread of other weeds and so on. So they think of the ways to create an environment where you can grow vegetables as naturally as possible. Yes. Fukuoka method is more focusing on the process or the natural process, or you become in tune with the nature. So it isn't really a farming. It's more like you kind of a growing vegetable is a part of natural process, and you try to adjust yourself to be that process as much as possible, while Kawaguchi style natural farming is still a farming. The main goal is to harvest your vegetables. Therefore, you do the minimum thing that you need to do to grow vegetables. But within that framework, you try to do it as naturally as possible. Yes. Having said that, I'm not expert on those 2 methods. Yes, I did study Kawaguchi style natural farming. I attended Maragasaki Shizen no Kai for 2 years, and since then, I have been growing vegetables using this method. But I have not done Fukuoka method at all, so I don't have any experience on it. So I cannot really give a fair comparison of the 2. I'm just giving you just an introduction of it, so you can do your own research to find more about them. Unfortunately, it is difficult to difficult to get information about the methodology of Fukuoka method so much in Japan. But in Kawaguchi, and then another unfortunate thing is the Kawaguchi style method, there aren't a lot of information available in English. Yeah, the only thing you can do is probably come to Japan and then attend some of those courses. Yeah, Akame Natural Farming School is the best one. It is in Nara Prefecture. Actually, it is near the border of Nara Prefecture and Mie Prefecture. It's in Kansai region. So if you have a chance to come to Japan, I recommend that. or just read some other blogs. There are a few blogs writing about Kawaguchi style natural farming, which I'm going to give a link at the bottom of this video. And also, I'm going to write a little about Kawaguchi style natural farming, since this Frenchman requested me. Yes, so yeah, you can just read my blog as well. I'm going to give a link there too. All right. Thank you very much for watching today, and I'll see you in the next video.